So hello everyone. Like 5-10 minutes ago, I just finished season 2 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and of course I wanted to give my thoughts on it, as I seem to do. This is my thing now, I guess, reviewing things. Um, so this season has 22 episodes, whereas last season had 12 episodes. So this season kind of has had almost twice the amount of time to expand, to explore its themes, to create the story, etc. And I think one of the reasons why this season is so much better than the first season is because in the first season you set up the world of Buffy, you introduce her as the Slayer, and you have each episode is kind of dedicated to a different sort of enemy from the Hellmouth, and then of course you have this sort of underlying tones of the Master, and he becomes a sort of adversary that Buffy must defeat. He's a master vampire, he's really dangerous, etc. But in this episode, I think it really shows Buffy growing up emotionally as well, which is a really great thing, I think. You can tell that she's not just this valley girl that was portrayed in the movie, which was awful, by the way, it was just so horrible. And as the girl who used to live in LA, she wasn't that valley girl. She did go through all this trauma, as in, she knew she had all this school life, she had friends, but she also had the responsibility of protecting her mother, protecting her friends, protecting her watcher from the evils of the world, protecting all these people, and, having that, trying to live a normal life, but knowing that really there was no path for her to go down apart from to be the Slayer, and to be the one whose responsibility it was to save people. I mean, in the episodes, I can't really remember which episode it was, where they were all signing up for all the careers and everything like that, the career day episode. Buffy was sat there, she was kind of like, what's the point, because I know that all I'm going to be is the Slayer, that's all there is for me. And it kind of rings true. It really brings a sort of extra dimensions to what it means to be the Slayer. In the first season, yeah, we do have all this depth with the Master, who is her ultimate adversary, but in this one you see that a Slayer is also a girl who has to be there to save people. A Slayer isn't just about saving people from vampires and whatever else comes out of the Hellmouth. A Slayer is also a person who has no other choice but to do what she was born to do, and she wasn't picked to be the Slayer. She said to her mother, I think it was episode 21 of this season, I didn't choose to be like this. And it was kind of sad that her mother didn't really understand, but Buffy was the one who had to, push her mother out of the way and make the better decision to save people, because she knew that Angelus, was a great danger. And I think one of the great things as well is that obviously their sort of love relationship was made stronger this season, definitely. But it also showed that they could be independent of one another as well. They also had their own lives going on. Whereas I think he was a sort of a comfort place for her to go to. He was like her confidant. He was the sort of person that she could talk to about all these things and sort of express herself with in a personal, intimate way. And he wouldn't judge her for it, because he knew exactly how it felt. And it was also great to see his backstory, to see why he was the way he was, and how he was changed and everything like that. But you see that once she discovers the fact that the whole thing with their soul, with being cursed and stuff, once she finds that out, you see that she kind of gets him on the level. She sees that she really does understand that he is more than a vampire. He's not just something that she has to kill. I mean, the scene when they go ice skating and then someone attacks her from the Order of Taraka, and he comes in and then they start like kissing, and he's got his vampire face on, and he's like, you shouldn't have to look at me when I'm like this. And she says, I didn't even realise I didn't even notice. So I think that was like she saw him for who he was and not what he was, and it was kind of like it was a reciprocal relationship. He saw her also not as just the Slayer, not as an enemy, but as a person that he really loved and he understood because he got her. And then obviously, they slept together, and that was sort of the pinnacle of their relationship when I think she hoped that from that they would finally move forward and sort of become more, like, deeper in love or whatever, like, deeper connected. Like, they'd have a stronger bond and everything. Not literally, but, like, when you sleep with someone, you kind of had that other connection with them. And I think she really wanted their relationship to go really far because he was, like, the perfect guy for her, even though he couldn't, like, come out in the sunlight or whatever, but she really loved him. And then he just turned back into Angelus, and she was so distraught. And then to see, like, it was such a fantastic build-up from that moment when he was out in the rain to going back to the last episode. It was such a fantastic build-up. I mean, you have all these other creatures from, like, the deep, like, you have, like, the Hellmouth whole thing going on, and then you see, like, this undertone with Angelus in the background, and then you start to realise that he is going to be the final adversary kind of thing. She's going to have to make the decision. Is she going to kill him? Is she not going to kill him? Is he going to be rescued in time? And at the end, obviously, he did get his soul back just in time. And even though she realised that, I think it was such a testament to the writing and to her character and to who she was as a person that she actually made the decision to push him back into hell. I mean, she did it in a way that was loving. Like, she said, close your eyes, and she was kissing him. Obviously, she didn't want to let go of him, but she knew it was the right thing to do because he was just too much of a danger. And it's so refreshing to see a female protagonist who does have her priorities straight. And honestly, I felt so glad in that moment just to be, a woman. I love that. It was amazing to watch that she does realise that she can't just give everything up. She can't just forget about everything he's done now. He's back to normal. It doesn't work that way. And it shows a sort of emotional maturity as well, that she understands that she's always going to be scarred by what he did. I mean, he killed so many people. He tortured Giles, he hurt her friends, and he killed Miss Calendar, Jenny Calendar. And he just did all these awful things. And she couldn't let go of that. It was... She saw him, I think, on another level as just a vampire. She saw him as a person as well. She knew that when a person kind of does those things, you can't forgive them. And so it was sort of saying that she did treat him as a person, and she knew that it was what he would have wanted as well, I think, to be punished for it. But she wasn't, obviously, I don't think she was doing it in his interest, not at all. But there's that sort of bond there where they did see each other as equals in that moment. I think she finally understood what he was and his past. I think she finally got it at that moment. But she did the right thing anyway, the morally right thing, and she sent me off to hell. And you can see, obviously, it's had a massive psychological, emotional, whatever effect on her. She doesn't turn up to school, even though she has been, like, expelled, but I think she would have turned up anyway. You know what I mean? She would have contacted one of her friends, but she didn't contact anybody. She just was like, you know what, I need to get out of town, and I don't know where she's gone. I don't know what she's planning to do or anything like that. Obviously, Buffy has another 5 seasons to go before it ends, so obviously something's going to happen. But yeah, she went home. I assume she climbed in through the window, got her stuff, because even though her mum said don't bother coming back, her mother, obviously as a mother, would have welcomed her back, because it's a daughter and she'd just gone off and she didn't know she was dead or anything like that. But yeah, and then she just got some clothes and then she left and she got on the bus and everything, and I think she kind of went to visit or went to watch her friends at school and Giles and everything as a sort of final, like, a catharsis kind of thing. And I don't know why she left, but I think it's because one, she obviously needs to go and clear her head, but two, I think it's because she doesn't want them to be in danger because of her. But obviously she'll end up coming back because the Hellmouth is like the biggest danger anyway, and all the demons will still be in Sunnydale no matter if she's there or not. So yeah, that was, I love, this is the reason why I loved Buffy this season in particular, and I'm really excited for next season. My favourite character was probably Kendra. I thought she was well written. I thought she was a bit. She wasn't actually. No, I don't think she was that much of a stereotype. I think they played her very well. It was sad to see her die, but I think she kind of made Buffy feel more like she belonged. Like her whole life wasn't just useless, and that she was doing great things and stuff like that. So that was really excellent. I love Kendra. I loved her shyness as well. But yeah, she was great just in general. I really liked to see. I liked watching Cordelia. I thought she was amazing to see from the beginning of the season, where she's still this like preppy girl, but then over the course of the 22 episodes, she gets in a relationship with Xander, and then she basically tells all her friends to go screw themselves if they're so shallow. And that, by the end of this season, you could tell she's not quite, got it, but she's definitely changed for the good. I mean, she's not bothered about who she hangs out with. She's doing her own thing. She's not afraid to, be an individual. And I'm really glad they brought that stereotype, because I think at the beginning it was really strong, the stereotype, but they learned from it, and it's good that they learned to individualise characters instead of just, making them cliches and stuff like that, like they were in the first the 80s movie. Was it an 80s movie? I think it was in the 80s, yeah. But that movie that was really awful. So yeah, Oz was pretty cool. He didn't really do anything for me per se, because all I kept thinking when I was watching the season was, I know Willow's going to end up being in a relationship with Tara. Everyone says Tara's an amazing character. Personally, I can't really remember anything of her, so I'm going to be glad to experience her for myself. But yeah, so Oz didn't really have an effect on me. I'm really excited to see when Anya will be joining this cast. And yeah, I think my second favourite character was definitely Spike. Drusilla, she was just like back crap crazy. I felt sorry for her, but then I just thought she was just really, not tacky, but I was just tired of it at the end. I was thinking, oh, just get away. But yeah, Spike, honestly, I'm not sure if he has a soul or not, but the way he acts is very selfless. No, not selfless, selfish, but not in a completely evil way like Angel. I think he has a conscience, and I liked how he came in like, really hard rocker, threatening to trying to kill everyone, and then at the end he actually realised that Angel was not the best force to be around. He wasn't a force for good. Well, obviously he wasn't a force for good. Spike's not fighting for the forces of good, but he realised that Angel was too dangerous, and he kind of teamed up with Buffy to defeat him. So, and I know he returns, is it in like season 4, I think someone said? So I'm going to be super excited for that. I'm really wary about Principal Snyder. I know he knows about the Hellmouth, and I wonder if he's going to be an enemy next season. Don't really like him, he's a bit of an arsehole, to be honest. But yeah, so I'm excited for Anya, like I said, to see all the characters grow, and to see how Willow kind of develops more into a magic thing, because I think this is the point where she starts becoming more versed in the magic art sort of thing. And of course to see Buffy return, kicking more ass and killing more vampires, and to see what sort of emotional change she's going to go through next, and if she's going to become a woman, and how she's going to transition into becoming a strong, powerful female symbol of the 90s that we know her as. So yeah, thank you very much for listening, and goodbye.